Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. It's just Rhonda. We're just here to talk about this Love and Marriage Huntsville reunion, part one. Do me a favor, like the channel and slide on over to the subscribe button. That's very important. Go ahead, subscribe. We talk about these things together. You say what you thought, I say what I thought, and it's a whole conversation, and that's why we're here. So let's start the conversation like this. They're arriving to the venue. They in LA, I guess. I mean, is nowhere in Huntsville to shoot the thing? Like the whole land of construction and building and all of that stuff. Y'all ain't have a venue for that. Marcel, you and Tisha over there with sculpting things. Why don't y'all discuss like somehow like building a venue for events such as this? Yeah, flew all out to LA anyway to, shoot the reunion. And, Carlos has to do his thing, his go visit everybody in their dressing room thing. Uh, Mel seems to be very much in a good mood. She really ain't got shit going on that's, pissing her off. Whatever was going on with Martell seems to be behind her now. So she in a good mood. She ready to do the darn thing. Why they act like Martell? I can see right now this is going to be stressful because getting these M's together has already started to be a challenge, and I ain't been here for 2 minutes yet. Anyway, why they act like Martell didn't have no key to get in his dressing room? Y'all just playing him straight out the gate. Martell, you've been kicked off the island. You've been voted off. I don't think they told you yet, but I feel like you might have been voted off the island. I don't know. Who you gonna lean on? Anyway, what's his name? Melanie's another M. She's in a good mood. Martell's locked out. Tisha and Marcel. Let's get to that. They're acting, they're performing, they're there in their boxers robes. Sorry, my glasses are dirty. They're in their black boxers robes because they came here to perform, much as how they have done this whole season. Martell did say they're actors, some of them better than others. These two are not great actors. I wish they would just do real shit, but then we will find out about, their business acumen. People come on these reality shows working so hard to be fake and phony. Imagine if Tisha would have stayed at home with her kids and worked on a project with them from like then till now on this hair care kind of line that they've got. You know what I'm saying? And we could watch that grow instead of watch her out here making a fool out of herself, pretending like she's the 85% owner of a construction business. And I went to the website and it's very confusing. They ain't done nothing on their website, on their Instagram since 2020. And I'm talking about skulls. So just based on what you can see, like, because businesses that are flourishing, their websites are also doing that. Like you can see what's actually current going on in their business. I saw Sculpt with some Fairview Hotel or one of them little places where honestly I probably wouldn't stay anyway, but I'm just saying it's the thing. People be on the road and need somewhere to stay. I'm kind of scary and I prefer making my arrangements prior to getting there so it could be a whole lot of relaxation and luxuriating that I don't get to do at my house. But that's how I do it. I believe this ain't about me. Anyway, truck drivers and things need to have some place nice and clean to sleep sometimes, I suppose. I don't know. Anyway, I don't really see nothing current. And I went to their reviews because I was just curious. We're having this whole argument about business. And so yeah, I just wanted to see what was the business actually, because it's not easy to be an entrepreneur. It's very hard. It takes a lot of work. What's this girl over here? Jesus. What is the stuff they give you for memory, gender thing? Maybe I need some of that, child. Anyway, I'm about to be another year around the sun. My birthday is Friday, just in case you were wondering. So, you know, my memory is not as sharp as it used to be. But anyway, Letitia, Lakeisha, one of these girls over at Bell Collective that insulted all the people by saying that people don't want to work a 9 to 5. Well, being an entrepreneur is definitely working more than 9 to 5. So sometimes some people just want that check, that guaranteed check. Some people, most entrepreneurs, I would say, actually do work a 9 to 5 along with whatever it is they're trying to get off the ground. Boy, did I get off track. Anyway, Tisha and them, I wanted to see what their business was, but we didn't get to see any of the business. Galt is doing, looks like black is the business. Looks like Tisha and Marcel have parlayed this platform into a bar. Galt has a lot of white people in the pictures, and I'm not even trying to be funny, but it's like those ones that come with your picture frame. You know what I mean? So I don't know if these are people that they actually did just business with or projects that they've actually worked on, but it feel like it's a couple of projects that they did work on, like back in 2018 or something. And then there's some projects that look like they stock photos, like off of Google or something. There is a picture of them that they took in the beginning of this season with them shovels outside the building. Like that one is there on the website. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, these are just little things that it just doesn't feel like Sculpt is really moving anywhere. When you look back, Tisha's title, I hate distractions because it's too hard to pick up where I left off. But anyway, I was talking about Sculpt and how it doesn't really appear to be moving in a way that we can see it. You know, that's how business works. You keep your people engaged on the website. You get emails. You get always constant contact. Any business that I have given my email to is constantly sending stuff to my email. So I don't know, you know, what Sculpt is doing. Not a whole lot that we could tell. Oh, I was gonna say they have that picture there of them from in the beginning with them shovels, and it's Tisha, some lady in a dress, some white lady in some jeans and a t-shirt, and Marceau, and then Maurice and them, I guess, got cut out the picture. But you can still see his shirt. Anyway, I'm just saying this to say that the business that I'm seeing, like, how do you determine what thing you want to do? Like, go out to eat and that kind of thing. You go to Google, you hit the reviews, see what people are saying, and you move forward and see, like, if you want to try it. Their Google reviews go to the businesses, it seems like, of that are in the plaza. So if you're going to their Google review, it'll send you off to a different Google review about chicken wings or something like that. And I'm like, that in itself is like confusing to me. So, you know, their business is whatever it is. It's confusing. It's hard to figure it out. And I don't really want to do business with people that are very hard to figure out when it comes to business. When I go to Stormy's website, it's actually quite beautiful. Everything that I need or want to order is right there, and, you know, shipping and handling and credit card and all of that thing. And you know what? I don't even have to go to her website because I can go in multiple retailers and pick something up. Just saying. Anyway, I got off track, but I was like, let me just say it while I'm thinking about it, because I'll get to talking and then I'll be mad that I didn't include it. We're at the reunion. While these folks is in their you know, dressing room boxing or pretending to box, they somehow get dressed and let's get on these looks. Let's start with the Kane, Carlos Kane. I mean, Carlos looked nice in his suit. It's a red satin suit. I'm not feeling the whole satin thing necessarily. Not when it's a whole suit. I'm gonna say that. He's wearing a red tux and a black shirt. He looked nice. He usually does. Every now and then he'd go out, but you know, Carlos is he comes to slay. I feel like him and Martell definitely be competing. Martell has on an orange pinstripe and black suit. His sleeves is tight as usual. I mean, Martell usually looks nice in a suit. It just depends whether it's too tight or not. And somewhere it's going to be too tight. So when it's not like suffocating him, then I guess the regular too tight is way better than his, we don't know what's going on too tight. He ain't really giving his tailor a lot to work with because he probably requests. And I'm going to say this because, this is something I encounter. His tailor probably would very much like to let them sleeves out a little bit, but when Martell goes for a fitting and he's standing and looking at himself in front of the mirrors, he definitely wants you to be able to see the muscles. So, because he's been working out. So I would imagine that his tailor is probably like trying to convince him to take it out just a tad bit, but he wants, he wants us to see his muscles. We see them. I feel like him and Carlos be competing with each other when it comes to who's gonna outdress who. There's really no competition, I don't think, just because they're just built different. So it depends on what you like. But they both look nice in the suit. Enough about Martell and Carlos. Beyonce came straight from the Renaissance. Um, I'm a fan of Jay Bolin and the way he does his thing. And I think Mel is definitely a great muse to have. She wears his style well. It was inspired by Beyonce, but in a good way. And so I'm here for it. It ain't for everybody. I would say that for those of you who hate Mel so much, y'all gonna hate it. And for those of you that, like to sign off as millimeters, y'all gonna love it. I like it. I don't know what that makes me, but it's a reunion dress and she's the star. So let's don't forget it. That's what I see. I also see that they have conveniently posted her and Martell next to each other. So regardless as to what you want to call yourself, Miss Rogers, they still gonna make you stand next to Martell. Who else? Where do I want to go? Let's go over here. The Fletchers. They look nice. I mean, Nell looks nice, and Chris looks like his suit is actually inside out, and that's the lining of the suit. It would have been better, I feel like, if you would have went black with the fancy lining on the inside. That's a lot, but Fletcher, I think, thinks he's over here being some type of fashion. He dresses in he does his thing. I'm not gonna knock it. He usually looks nice. I'm not feeling the Colonel Sanders bow tie. But it's Alabama. I wish all of you niggas would get some socks. I'm not sure why that's a thing, but it should not be a thing. I can't see Whitlow's feet. I hope the hell he got his ankles covered because I have a feeling they ain't ankles I want to look at. Tiffany looked like she always looked. Somebody's damn mama saying that she's 35. Sometimes you get things through your head and you think like 2 seconds about letting it come out of your mouth, and then what did Wendy call it? Kitchen table talk? Yeah. I am very torn with Tisha's dress. I kind of like it and I kind of don't. I think the shoes are a bit much. Not that I don't like the shoes, I just think they're a bit much with this dress. My other issue with it is the boning. I'm not sure why they chose that color because it's not like I still see it. It's not brown. It's not dark. And it's not green. It's some other different color that's neither one of those colors. The illusion fabric is right, but the boning is, it was just annoying me a little bit. But now I'm being nitpicky. Her makeup looked good. I'm not mad at it. I just think, it's a little, it makes me feel a little bit like she's about to go perform somewhere. Like, I don't know, every time I look at it in my head, I hear, if you wanna be with me, baby, there's a price to pay. I'm a genie in a bottle. You gotta rub me the right way. Yeah. Shakira, Shakira. I don't know. I like it kind of in this, kind of don't, but Marcel standing there with no socks on. Next. Let's talk about Courtney and Stormy because I don't know. I really want to like it. I really want to like it. I've seen a picture of them like on her Instagram page, and they looked good. For some reason, I liked it. Like they look good in the picture, the pictures that they had done. And I think that's the problem. This is more, I mean, for Stormy, she looks pretty. I think she looks pretty. Courtney, this is more for a photo and not for the actual stage because it did not translate the same when they got over here to the stage, and Courtney, look, that's a lot of pink and satin. I wish it wasn't satin. I feel the same way about Carlos's suit. If Courtney's suit had not been satin, but the right color pink, and he had a white shirt under there because this Stormy is just a lot of pink. You got to break it up somewhere besides some shoes. And I'm saying Stormy because I feel like she picked this out. She did this, but I don't know. As much as I feel like people are gonna hate it, I think Stormy looks pretty, especially in the photo. It just doesn't translate. That's a lot of satin on that big old boy. So we're gonna have to figure out something other than that satin. Kimmy looks pretty. This dress is not my style. I'm really not into the feathers of it all, but that's just my personal thing. But I think, the dress looks good on her. Her hair looks good. I will say this, when she walked in and she didn't have her wig on, I wish for one quick second, like she would give it a little Regina King flavor. You know what I'm saying? Regina like has that short hair now. And I mean, I get, I'm not a wig girl, and that's okay. Kimmy is, but we always see her in a wig. I wish she would have just kind of gave it that like Regina King flavor and just tone it. See, Regina in this orange dress, she just looks so elegant, and I just can see Kimmy killing that look, even with the short hair. Just do something like embrace it just a little bit, because Kimmy, walking around, and she's pretty, and her walking around with them stupid belly shirts and, titties popped out all the time. I was surprised that this dress was as conservative as it is. I was really expecting, who knows what from Kimmy. But yeah, I just want, you know what? Not just Kimmy, but all of them. Mel got Jay Bowling. Y'all need a stylist. Y'all need a stylist. And I mean a real one. You're over here in LA, talk to some people, because whatever y'all got going, y'all stylists and makeup artists and things over there in Huntsville is over there spreading rumors about you. Oh yeah, Kiki was there. She had a blue dress on. What else you want? They didn't even put Kiki in the picture. So hell, I ain't forget. She wasn't included in the group photo. They left her ass in Houston with that foolishness that she came there with. Hey, hola, ¿cómo está? Shut up, Kiki. All right, where do I start? Because Carlos was being extra messy, and it seems as though he's switched sides. He's no longer whatever Martell calls his people. He's the millimeter now. It's weird. Be careful, everyone that aligns yourself. It ain't what you think it is, seemingly. Anyway, Marcel and Tisha. We start here. Are Marcel and Tisha good business people? Tisha doesn't actually answer the question, but she refers to the Black Expo. The Black Expo, y'all remember we met the Black Expo, what, February of last year? It's hard to remember. It's hard to remember because it seems like this has been a long time ago, but let's see if we remember the details. Black Expo. Sponsors or no sponsors? At first it was not. At the meeting when Mel was like, are we getting paid? They said no. And she said, well, y'all ain't got no sponsors. And they was like, nah, we just want everybody to come here and do stuff for free. And then Chris Fletcher and Nell was over there getting the details, because one thing we do know about Huntsville, the streets be talking. They be calling people, they be calling Nell, they be calling Tisha, and they be calling Kiki. People be out here calling in the streets of Huntsville. This is not according to me because I don't live there. This is according to them. Awanda be getting calls too. Anyway, somebody called Chris and told Chris that there was some sponsorship that they done found and decided to use. So, not sure why my dog has lost his cookies. Let me go find out. Oh, the powers that be just won't let me be great. Anyway, sponsorship. What was the sponsorship paying for? Because we determined that nobody was getting paid. That's according to Marcel and Tisha. Now, remember, the question is, are y'all good business people? And she decided that this is the route that she wants to go. So I'm trying to answer that question, like within all this bullshit that Tisha's saying right now. I think the coaching that she got, because she came real coached all the way down to the boxing rows. Marcel's probably her coach. That's why she never ever really comes out looking good. Anyway, according to her, nobody's getting paid. And now we don't know what the sponsorship is going to, cover. I don't know how much that venue was. Couldn't be very much. Now at the last minute, Marcel needs $100. We don't know why he needs $100, but apparently he decided he wanted to go around asking people at the last minute for $100 that they did not know that they were supposed to be bringing. Now, I would go ahead and say, as a business owner, if you decide to enter your business into some type of expo or expo, you should not expect that your table is going to be free. I don't think that that's how that works. So when all the vendors signed up and nobody asked, like, how much? Do I have lipstick on my nose? When all the vendors signed up, did anybody ask for free? We're not paying? Like, I mean, I guess not. Just seems strange that the day of this guy decides he needs $100 from Stormy. Okay. I personally believe, they looked around because remember, because it was a long time ago, remember all these extra people that they didn't anticipate signed up the day before. And the lady, part of her team, Tisha's team needs some tightening up. The lady on her team said, we don't know where we're going to put all these people, but they keep on calling and I keep saying yes. And Tisha's like, don't say yes anymore because we don't know where we're going to put the people that are already here. And Marcel was probably like, yeah, if I had known all these people were going to come, I would have charged a fee for that. And he was like, you know what? I'm going to just go say that the booths are $100 just so they won't be mad. I wasn't there. I just feel like that's how that went because that's how it seemed like it went. Anyway. Tisha says that the group is hating on her. That's how she sees it. She said that the expo went well, it was a success. And aside from the feedback that she was getting from these people here on the stage that was talking shit, she don't want to be bothered with the haters. And I'm like, the haters, these are the same people that you wanted to work your event for free. These haters don't get to have no type of opinion because Tisha doesn't like questions and she doesn't like to be told that, she did anything wrong. She doesn't. It's a big event. every event, all the way down to like we be watching like the MTV awards and stuff be happening, and you're like, why did the lights go out? What happened over there? What is the lady looking in that camera for? Like shit just happens at events, and I guarantee that those people go back afterwards and have a discussion about what happened over here and how do we do things better. And planning for next season, when you're planning for the next event, which should be already happening if you're going to be doing these big events, the planning part at least. You talk about what went wrong last time. Like this, she doesn't want any of this. She's tired of it. It was excess. People came, they made money. Well, they never said they made money. It was for the community. I don't know what was happening with the community, but that's what she keeps saying. We try to do something for the community, and look at this is the thanks we give. Well, ain't nobody asked y'all to do that. Thing one, you came to these 6 people and asked them to be a part of your event. You asked Mel repeatedly because once Mel found out it wasn't going to be no money for her to come show up and make your event good, she's not stupid. She is like, listen, I'm not going to do it. If y'all like, need any help, have any questions, any way I can participate other than participate, I'm, glad to help you. Now, what are we going to do? Martell doesn't have anything. We need Mel. She has the millimeters. We need them to come. That's how you make money, right? For the community. Yeah. The community, did they get their money? Kimmy wasn't supportive. Kimmy had asked us about her money and her time. Kimmy has been through a lot. She's actually in recovery still at this point. She wants to know me taking time out of my day when I got to be over here doing all the things that Kimmy was being asked to do. You want her to do what for free? What's up with the money? It's nice. It looks nice. What about the money? That's where Kimmy was at with it. All the way down to the last minute. Maurice wasn't asking any questions because Maurice is Marcel's brother, and whatever brother says, then he's going to stand by it, usually. What did Martell bring to the table? He didn't bring no wine. He didn't bring no suits. He didn't speak at your panel. He brought himself, which probably brought some bitches. So I guess he's good up for that because, y'all love Martell in a tight suit. So if you bring some people in to buy some tickets to, to buy some things from some of these vendors, then I guess he did contribute. And he said it was nice, but he didn't actually contribute in a way that was like he held a mic. Why was Stormy asked to participate? Stormy wasn't a part of the core 6, the comeback group. That wasn't part, she wasn't a part of that. So why did Marceau, who says he has no respect for her, Stormy, he don't have no value in Stormy, he don't care about what she has to say. Then whose idea was it to ask Stormy to be a part? Because she did not come asking y'all to be a part. Just curious. Did you ask her because she's a businesswoman? Is that why she was asked? I mean, she got a national brand, child. We talked about that. We can go buy her stuff down to the Walmart. Stormy's brand, I would say, is even bigger than Mel's. Mel is doing e-commerce, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm talking about as a beauty brand, she's not carried nationally, and and she's fine with that. But I'm just saying, like, so why did y'all ask Stormy to come? Since she holds so little value to you, why is it that she was even asked to become a part of this whole thing? Stormy's brand was established before Love and Marriage Huntsville. That part is true. And honestly, if I were there, and I would say most of the people that came there came to see Stormy. Now, if you didn't have no Mel and you ain't had no Stormy, who was the draw? Bartell? I mean, there's only so much that guy can draw. I'm just saying. Y'all didn't have no discussions about the space. But then you want to be mad at Stormy for taking up too much space. Why? Because y'all got in here calculating at the last minute, talking about, dang, this could be $300, $400, $500, $600 right here if we shove all 6 tables over here. So y'all technically got irritated with Stormy because she came and made your event great, but took up too much space doing it. And Tisha, you don't get to just only have positive feedback. That doesn't even make sense. Like, that's not how business works. What you gonna do on Google? Google will make or break your ass. I would say, back to the original question, what type of business people are you? Well, I guess you could find out. Um, why did you guys decide to do the expo in the first place? And what benefit did the community actually get? Like, that was your stance for the community, the community, the community. Everybody works for free. We got sponsors. We're selling tables. And so that should be easy enough to prove. And I would be like, we donated to the, nobody ever said that. Nobody ever said that. All I heard was, I need $100 and this is the thanks I get. Um, Tisha says she's been over it since the town hall meeting. And I'm like, that's where you're supposed to get feedback, girl. I don't know when she was supposed to get it. I personally, anytime I have an event, I want it immediately. I start asking people, like the people that worked on it with me, like, what did you think? What happened? What did you hear? I be wanting details. If I get a chance to talk to my guests and, my guests that are friends, I'm like, how were the people, what happened? I want to know immediately. Give me the feedback. That way I can make it better next time. You can't be down to the brunch talking about, I don't care, they got dirty plates and cold bacon. I have a couple of Bell Collective references because their reunion was this weekend too. And I'm not gonna review it by myself. I review it with my niece. Shooting the shit with Rhonda and T. We'll talk about it over there. Can't keep discussing stupid shit twice. Now, Carlos asked Stormy and Courtney if Tisha and Marcel are on their level. And I'm like, well, what kind of question is that? Like, that's a stupid question. Now, Carlos just over here wanting to start shit. And then Courtney was like, I don't know. Like, before he could get it out of his mouth good, here come Tisha punching a wall. What the hell is wrong with her? Where did this come from? They start talking over each other. Her and Stormy are going back and forth. And you came to black. You said that, and it was like, whoa. I was like, what are they even saying? I didn't even know what they were saying. Teacher said something about when people aren't mad at you, they have nice things to say, and as soon as they get mad, then they got stuff to say about you. And Stormy was over there talking about, I ain't mad, and then Tisha starts screaming about paying people's invoices. What is she talking about? Pay the people's invoices. How does she know anything about somebody's invoice? Thing one. What invoices are we talking about? Are you talking about orders? Are you calling orders invoices? Pay the people's orders. Where's she getting? I was getting ready to say where's she getting this information from, but Tisha said the people been calling. The people been calling her saying, you're not the only one she owes money. She owes money for this and that and the other thing. And I'm like, she owes you money? Are we talking about the $100? Why does Stormy owe Tisha money? What is she talking about? That was confusing. Tisha, what are you talking about? You making shit up now, shit. Tisha said, go pay them Huntsville people with your TikTok money, boo. And I was like, she got TikTok money? That's not a read. She got TikTok money to pay the people with? Well, hate on me for getting no check from TikTok. I don't get one of those. That feels like a lot of work. Tisha and Wanda and Kiki be up to the same things. people be calling me. I don't ever get any calls from people about somebody else's business. You know why? Because they know I want to hear that shit. Now, I'm not saying I don't gossip. You have your people you gossip with, but ain't nobody calling me telling me about somebody owe money somewhere. I don't give a damn. That's weird. But that's the shit y'all be up to. I feel like Stormy was pretty transparent, honestly, about the struggles of growing her business so rapidly. Um, I think there's information that you have to learn along the way as you become more and more successful. Everybody has a story. All the successful businesses have. Candy got a story, her over there with the restaurants and the bad reviews and things, and people had receipts floating around, and we ain't gonna talk about the other things that have happened over there, but her business took a negative hit, and she's not closed. She's still very much in business. You got to take the bumps and the bruises. Kenya talked about like the struggle of being the only person running her business to having to open up a little bit, let the reins go to somebody else, give control to somebody else. And Stormy did too. And when she did, like she was talking about checks getting written and things over there that she didn't know about. And Bethany was over here at the store with her stuff selling, giving away. She couldn't even give away them whatever she was trying to give away at the grocery store in the process of building her business. So whatever Tisha's talking about, girl, it don't make sense because you don't have a successful business. We over here asking questions like where the sponsorship money come from and why you need $100. Those are the questions you and Kiki both are around here asking people for $100. What is really going on? Stormy said Tisha was practicing in the car. And she was. That's what it felt like. Like, girl, you didn't see the boxing robe, Stormy. They was practicing for real. What you gonna say to Stormy? That's how you deflect. When people ask you a question about this, we gonna flip it over to that. But y'all ain't good flippers. And nobody thinks you. Tisha's like that dog, that little dog in the neighborhood that's tied to a tree. And when you walk by with your pit bull, that dog just be talking shit, and you and your dog be like, you tied to a tree. Shut the fuck up. And if you come over here, it's probably still not gonna be good. I'm just saying, that's the energy she was giving me. I'm a genie in a bottle. Somebody let her out the bottle, child, and she is on fire. Tisha told Stormy to go pop some pills and shut up. And I was like, what? What is you talking about? This story, I don't know what that was supposed to give, but it definitely wasn't giving. I'm not even interested in no story about Stormy and no popping no pills. Don't acknowledge any of that. You sound crazy. Now you just make and Marceau is in the chair looking at Courtney like, I don't know. Whatever she got going over here, I don't know nothing about it. I told her to be quiet. She won't. See how he do you, Tisha? He set you out there and then leave you hanging out by yourself. Tisha's issue is she doesn't want to take accountability for anything. I think that's strange. I guess there's a lot of people like that, but it's just weird when everybody's looking at you when you standing there with your pants around your ankles talking about I ain't naked. And we're like, yeah, you are. Girl, you naked. You standing out there naked looking a damn fool. And Marceau is not even loaning you his coat. He's looking at you talking about you shouldn't have came outside like that, Tisha. The Black Expo, that's on both of them. They both were over there being ridiculous. I feel like Marceau actually railroaded Tisha into some shit that she really was trying to come across looking like a boss instead of asking for help from people that know what they're doing. We don't know what they was over there doing. The whole copy and paste situation with Tisha and Stormy was all on Tisha.
So this ain't stealing.
This is why Tisha's law doesn't make sense. A web designer designs your website. I mean, first of all, there's GoDaddy, there's Squarespace, there's 1,000 different you got Canva, you got for more. There's so many different places you can go to develop your own website by yourself, which is definitely what Tisha did. That's what she did. A web designer's job is to design your website. Most of us know that. That's why this lie don't make sense, Tisha, because we've all like at some point tried to design a website for us that are in a content creator space or anybody like anybody that's had any sort of business. I know for us as hairstylists, we've had to create our own space visually because there's, competition out there. You got to make sure that people know who you are. So if you're a business of any sort, Tisha, you've taken some of these steps with some of these websites to, create your own page. That's your web designer's job. If you're somebody who's like, I don't have time for that, let me just pay somebody to create a site that's easy to navigate and visually pleasing, let me get to that guy. Because sometimes these things are out of my, wheel space. And, scout over there with a person. I don't know if that person did yours, but it don't look like it. Anyway, she did this on her own. Your web designer does not create your mission. It does not create your about information. It don't have nothing to do with your pricing. It doesn't have nothing to do with your shipping or your return policies. Those are all things that the business comes up with. If I'm a web designer, how the hell do I know your return policy? That's something that you would have to give to me. Okay, so let's just say you hire somebody to design that very, 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 very basic Mila and Macy website that you could have did anywhere. You definitely copy and pasted Stormy's return policy and put it on yours. You did that. And if you didn't do it yourself, you sent the information for him to do it. He wouldn't like if he was whoever I'm saying if he, she, this person, if this person was to just Google any beauty brand template and Canvas Beauty ain't gonna be the first one top. Sorry, not gonna happen. Not. You would actively have to search for that. I don't care how many people in the area that you use. A lot of us in Huntsville use this same person. Did Stormy? Because if she didn't, then how does this person have her content? Marceau and Tisha want us to believe we stupid. We looking at your naked ass standing there with your pants around your ankles and you telling us that you, not my fault. Wasn't a bad look on me. That was them. And then Carlos is co-signing this bullshit. And I'm like, why ask her this question? Why give her a pass? I feel like she came out there firing like she was ready to go, like she Billy Badass, and we all know better. But I feel like Tisha should be standing in her shit. She should be required to answer that question. Where did the Expo money go to then? What did y'all do with the sponsorship money? What did y'all do with the $100 that y'all was collecting? And instead, Tisha over there calling this girl a pill popping TikToker. And we're like, what the fuck are you talking about, Tisha? Kimmy and Maurice. Kimmy is here for the remix because she always is. Now, Kimmy is telling us that when she got married, one of her top priorities was always her sex life. Yeah, I would say most people would say the same thing. I would say in most marriages, that's pretty high up on the list of things that you want to, be taken care of. We're all very happy that Kimmy came back on the second part of the season cancer free. We were all pulling for Kimmy. We still pulling for Kimmy. We want to see her, continue to get healthy because I know that doesn't happen overnight. With everything that she went through with her treatment, I think, the healing process is still there. I think it's perfectly normal for her to feel not her most beautiful. It's a lot. It's a lot for you to try to get back in that energy, and the requirement for us as women to stay beautiful, and she's getting older, so that's on top of always probably, especially with Maurice being younger. He probably doesn't care, but I'm sure for her it's in her head, because you know women and their beauty, and it's such a requirement for us. Her beauty is very much attached to her hair. So it don't help to hear her husband saying she ain't got no hair to blow in the wind. See, the stuff that Maurice says is the reason why we feel the way we feel. It would have been an interesting storyline. I feel like we would not feel the same as we do if Kimmy would have talked more about her journey and trying to get back to, being a sexual being. I'm sure that had to be hard because people don't think of it that way a lot of times. However, I think all the things that she said was true. She said in the beginning she thought she was depressed. And I would say she definitely was probably depressed. How could she not? I don't think it's normal to feel like you just gonna be in this happy, happy state. You're happy for some things, but there's probably a lot of emotions that she was going through and dealing with what she went through. God daggone it. Kimmy wasn't really talking about that though. Kimmy was talking about fixing her vagina. She was talking about Kegel balls and vagina steams and lingerie shoots, and everything that she was talking about was designed to reverse all the stupid shit that Maurice said. Everything was about catering to him. It wasn't really about her and what she was going through. And that was irritating. When you got your husband out here, not saying these things privately, but on all these public platforms, talking about she needed to roll over and suffer through it, or he don't just want sex, he needs it. And I feel like that's a lot of pressure when you're saying, I don't care who you are, if you're married to someone who's saying, I don't just want sex, I need it. I need it, or I can't survive without it. And your requirements before any of this was to be rolling over for 2 or 3 times a day. And so now, Kimmy, you want us to believe that that's your sexual appetite, and we don't believe that. We know that sounds crazy. And on top of it, you're going through treatment. And then this nigga is on TV saying, like, what a wonderful woman you are to roll over and suffer through. Like, these are all things we didn't ask for. This is all shit that y'all were out here on public platforms. We just watched him say it, and we were like, what? It was just disgusting. And that's not to mention like you working and cooking and cleaning, and it's no wonder why your libido is not doing, what it normally does. You sound like you would be tired. I would be tired. Hell, and I feel like a lot of us are. That's when the whole conversation of faking it came up. And Maurice, like with this fake ass apology, this they came with this apology that, Maurice rehearsed before he got there. And I guess him and Tisha was in the car going over lines. We don't care about Maurice's apology because Maurice has shown us who he is. And he's your man, Kimmy. So, I feel like we checked out though. I feel like we was like, girl, if this is who you really like trying to. She said the problem wasn't that she was faking it. The problem was that she said something. That's not the problem. Maybe the problem is that you said something on TV, but then why are y'all doing a reality show? And he said basically it is a problem. Don't fake it, or tell him. And I agree. Like, what is not saying nothing. Like, as shitty as he is, he can't know like he's messing up if you act making him think he ain't. You never should have did that, but you did it all in the sake of you want to make sure Maurice is okay. And we were like, why? If anytime you get a pass for being like not feeling sexy, catch a cold. Catch a cold and you want to lay down and your head feel heavy and your nose is all stuffy and your throat is all scratchy. And if you got a man and he, leaning all up against you, you're gonna be like, please find something to do. So we all understand, not necessarily not necessarily the whole idea of being sick as she was, but we all understand what it's like to feel not that great and be like, nigga, please. And we also understand what it's like if sometimes it's just easier to like, I don't know, faking orgasms. That's a lot, y'all. That's a lot. I ain't doing it. How much performing are you doing when you're faking it? Maybe I'm just too old at this point. I'm like, Now, I mean, I feel like maybe you be in the mode where you like, do what you gotta do, so we can make this over. But I'm not faking no orgasm. And that's how come Kimmy over here. Carlos then pivots the conversation over to Mel talking about her faking it. And I was like, oh, this here must be why Martell was over here mad on Instagram or down in the comments mad at Carlos. Carlos asked Mel, what is it about Martell's sex that didn't satisfy you? Now you got Martell jumping all up on his feet, and I'm kind of like, ew, why are you asking these questions? We don't need it. We don't need it. We can pretty much tell why she wasn't satisfied. I would say Mel was definitely not dissatisfied the entire time, but she was probably faking it a good portion of the time, or at least for a long time, because he was cheating and she was checked out. And so, not even with a hook and a curve, Martell, can you get through somebody's emotions when you've been cheating on them. And the fact that you would even say that makes it clear that, yeah, you ain't probably really doing a whole lot besides making love to yourself. I don't see Martell putting no type of energy into trying to satisfy his partner. I think, his energy is always about him. He's coming with a hook and a curve, y'all. What else do you want? Ew. He is such a pig. Why would he say that? And Carlos, why are you asking? I mean, they have a little lunch break. They go in the back, and Tisha's back there still woofing up, talking about how she tired of people. They've been coming at her, and she tired of it. And Marcel is trying to tell her, like, it's not a good look, girl. You are not, you ain't. We don't even care about what them people think. I guess. He telling her to ignore Stormy, and I'm like, Carlos is the one that started it. Stormy is clearly blindsided, like, no, you didn't come in here, come straight for me, and we just getting started. We ain't even sat down good. Remember the good old days, Stormy, when you was down to the TikTok with Tisha? Dancing and stuff. Now she throwing it in your face. Ain't that some shit? What's next? This silly segment with Marcel. Is Marcel a bitch? Yes, he's a bitch. Is it nice to call him a bitch? No, it's not. Does Stormy know better than that? Yes, she does. Do we think he's a bitch? Absolutely. So Stormy tries to explain why she calls Marcel a bitch. She says Marcel does stuff to get a rise out of people, and she refers to him as sassy. I wish I'll find something else to say besides sassy. It feels like you're insulting yourself when you say that. It just doesn't, I don't know, feels weird to me. Anyway, she said that men move with integrity, and that's not the way Marcel moves with integrity. And I'm like, I don't know if she's like got the right understanding of integrity. I don't see how that fits because I feel like people move with integrity. And I don't really think integrity has anything to do with Marcel being a bitch or his, his need to always be trying to get a rise out of people. I think that makes him an asshole. And I don't know what that has to do with his integrity. But the funny thing is, Tisha then comes and follows through with this whole, speech about the black man and the black man works so hard out here in this world. And I don't know why she's so comfortable calling another black man a bitch because they got enough to deal with out in his just, working hard in this world. And for her to be so comfortable with that, it makes me concerned about what might be going on in her household, child. And Courtney, if you need any help, please blink twice. And I was like, what is going on? She must have had to do a lot of studying. I guess she used to studying, girl, because they said she got a whole lot of degrees. And so she studied her script real good. And yeah. What the hell is Courtney Stormy gonna do to Courtney for him to need to blink his eyes twice? This is why we laugh at you, Tisha, because you do stupid shit like this. This doesn't even make sense. Carlos asked Tisha if she was caught up in the title boss. Now, look here. We're supposed to be here to bash Marceau for being in women business. And now you asking Tisha another question. Put her back in the house. So you trying to reignite the fire between her and Stormy. So he asked Tisha if she was caught up in the title of boss. She said no. Yes, she is. That's the whole problem. Tisha is a hater. All of her situation, all of this situation that Tisha is dealing with right now is because she's a hater and she's pretending to be a boss. She had access to Stormy, who is an educated hairstylist with a beauty brand, for hair care products. All you needed to do was ask this lady to help you write the return policy. And instead of you asking her, you stole it from her and then get mad at her for calling you out on it, Tisha. You had access to Mel. Mel has the e-commerce business. We see her all the time at the crib, packing things, shipping them out. You over at your friend's kitchen, putting hair care products in a mailing envelope, child. Now, I'll never unsee that. And the one thing I don't want is for my hair potion to have to go through the whole UPS system and get left in my door with all the products squished all out into the mailing envelope. Invest in some boxes and some bubble wrap. Start there. If y'all are still doing that, I don't know. Anyway, yes, you want so much to be a boss that you cannot humble yourself to go to actual bosses that you're around and get some type of information on how to build your business. Stormy been running around this whole season trying to fix something. I'm sure she would have jumped at the opportunity to help you with that and more. But you're a hater. You won't call everybody else a hater. They don't. People that have success over there on the other side of the room are not hating on you because they don't care what you're doing because you ain't doing a whole lot over there. Besides letting Marcel make a fool out of you. Speaking of Kiki, because that's her problem. Kiki's whole problem in this world is that Marcel is making a fool of her cousin while Kiki is making a fool of herself. Kiki, you've been online doing interview after interview after interview, making a fool of yourself, and you're a liar too. You trying to explain why you was telling Mel your cousin's business after you sat there and told her that you was not going to tell her business. You're very much invested in her business. And that whole story about the makeup artists and stuff was so stupid. Like at that point, Kiki, you should have been like, don't call me about her marriage. I don't want to hear it. But you was like, let me call, because that's what you do. That's what they do over there. They be calling. Kiki is one of them call and find out. Did you hear about the lady said Marcel was having a threesome? Ew. No, he wasn't. Stop it. Tisha came out. She still got more firepower. She said Kiki was over there worried about Marcel because they kept asking Kiki, what is it? What is it that you want her to know and that the whole world knows? And she said that her husband is cheating on her. We'll prove it. With who? With who is he cheating? You don't have no answers. All you got to do is a story about a makeup artist's boyfriend who maybe or may not be telling the truth about somebody having a threesome with Marcel. Is that your proof, Kiki? Because that's not proof. But Tisha said Kiki over here worried about her marriage and her husband and her was over there cheating and she paid somebody to go on a date with him. Kiki, seems like you have your own business to worry about. What did you bring this season? You was down to the Crime Stoppers. You said, these allegations are false and we're going to find out. We ain't found out nothing, girl. You was down to Marceau's phone bills trying to find out, like you was entering yourself in some things like you ain't had no business entering yourself in. So Kiki, worry about yourself. Next week, the Whitlows will be there. I guess I had to come to the reunion in order to get their check. That's been going around lately. Ask this boy Kirsten over at Ready to Love. Stormy's mother, you still mad at Mel? I think that's weird. I think whatever happened with Mel wasn't that serious for her mama to be over here. Like, listen, lady, Tisha was just calling your daughter a pill popping TikToker and said she wasn't paying the invoices. Throw some of that energy her way. I don't know what you mad at Mel about. You know what? Until then, be mad, get glad, scratch your ass, like and subscribe. And yeah, we'll see you on part 2. Bye, y'all.